When I was 2 years of age, my family immigrated from Sweden to America in search of the American dream. That ended up being a lot harder than they intended, and so I was actually raised in the inner city of Los Angeles. But my parents were incredible Christians. They had a real relationship with Jesus, and that's something I gleaned from. However, my junior and senior year of high school, I was living with one foot in the world and one foot in church. And it was at the end of my senior year of high school at one of these parties where I was looking around thinking, this is getting old. There has to be more to life than this. That's when I heard about a new place called the Dream Center, and I thought, this is it. This is where I'm going to spend the rest of my life. I love the fact that they were out doing exactly what I'd read Jesus was doing. Well, let's fast forward 10 years. I'd been doing this kind of work for 10 years. I've been out on the streets thousands of times, down to Skid Row hundreds of times. I'd been in Hollywood doing outreaches to prostitutes. So 10 years into doing this kind of ministry, I found myself at a crossroad because leading up to this, I thought all the problems in the world were so big. There was no chance for us to even scratch the surface of these issues. And I found myself watching a documentary that crushed my spirit. It was where kids in Africa are being forced to fight as soldiers, being forced to kill other children, even their own siblings. And it was one of those times when I felt like the world's beyond wicked, there's no hope for it, the devil's winning and God doesn't care. So crying out to God that night, kind of angry at God to be honest, I asked him, why don't you care? And he sweetly reminded me, he said, I sent my son Jesus to pay for the sin of what you just saw so that there'd be hope for redemption. I sent my son Jesus for the healing that needs to take place. I've promised you success, protection, and to provide everything you could possibly need. So I've already given everything. Why are you letting it happen? Well, I'm kind of an analytical person, and that was kind of a heavy moment for me because I realized it's our fault. He's already given us everything that we need. Being analytical, I went to the Bible looking for example, and time again, I saw that God used very ordinary people to do the miraculous. So as with all deep matters of theology, I was sharing this with my hairdresser, and I was asking her, why don't we believe for these things anymore? And she was raised in the church, and she said, well, maybe not exactly like what we read in the Bible. And I realized we read these stories like they're just fairy tales or just stories about morals and character instead of using them as examples of what God can do with us today. We see in an example found in Exodus chapter 35 and 36, where the Lord commissions Moses and his people to build the tabernacle. And what stands out to me in those two chapters is how often you see the word willing. The people were willing to give and sacrifice their resources and finances to building the tabernacle. People were willing to use their gifts and talents to serve, to build this tabernacle. Now look what happens when those of us who are willing to do and give and willing to do what's in our hearts, found in chapter 36, 6-7. So Moses gave the command, and this message was sent throughout the camp. Men and women, don't prepare any more gifts for the sanctuary. We have enough. So the people stopped bringing their sacred offerings. Their contributions were more than enough to complete the whole project. See, all God needs is our willingness, that which we can freely give, and we can more than accomplish the will of God. Because another thought I had was, well, how many kids are starving around the world? How many orphans still need a home? And as I looked at those statistics, again, feeling very overwhelmed, I had another thought, well, how big is God's army? There are over 2 billion Christians around the world. With an army like that and with a God that we serve, what can't we fix? We're not here to scratch the surface of issues. We are that answer.